So this is the very gorgeous Felice, and what we're going to do today is I'm going to do a very beautiful, simple makeup for the Chelsea Flower Show for the Great British Summer. So with this kind of look and makeup, if you're going to be out in the sun all day, you've got to have a bit of SPF, and you can't make it too dewy, otherwise it's just going to slide off your face. So I'm going to use, firstly, I've just kind of prepped her skin a little bit, curled her lashes, because she has lush lashes, and I'm using some balancing moisturiser. It's got a bit of a gel tone, kind of texture to it. This is the Omovica one, and I'm going to use it with a beauty blender. So a kind of like a beauty blender is great kind of for foundations or concealers, but you can also use it for your moisturiser. And I don't want to use too much moisturiser on her. I don't want her to look like yoga skinny or kind of too dewy. That I want it to last all day. So this is, again, a great kind of tip if you're kind of doing a bride or bridal makeup. So I'm literally just kind of patting it in, bringing it down. I'm even going over the lip, going around her eyes. So you can kind of see that it's lending itself to a bit of a dew, bit of a glow, but nothing too kind of hazy crazy. And also because this will kind of like this particular moisturiser will just kind of lock in and hydrate the skin rather than kind of making it try and appear too dewy and glowy. And I'm just kind of taking it down with the other side. Okay, for the next step, I'm going to use a bit of the Trini London BB cream. This has got an SPF 30. So if you're kind of out all day in the sunshine, your cream or your face cream or whatever you have to put on, you have to basically put a bit of an SPF on. So you're out walking around looking at lovely flowers, cover yourself up with a bit of Factor. So I'm going to take the Real Techniques brush. This Trini London one is the light medium. And I'm literally just going to put it on all the high points of her face. And a little bit on her ears to give it a bit of glow. This is the Real Techniques brush, which is 302. I got it in Boots. So it's just starting to kind of make a kind of bit of a dewy glow. I'm going to just put a little bit over her nose, a little bit over the top of her lip. So it's just starting to kind of create that lovely glow, but will stay and not slide down her face. I always put a little bit of the BB cream or the kind of SPF 30 on ears, because people always tend to kind of forget ears or the backs of hands when it comes to kind of SPF. I'm literally just kind of mimicking it and just kind of feathering it on, kind of on her temples, on the high points of her cheek. Okay, and the next one I'm going to use for her skin, I'm going to use a complexion perfector. This is in dark. This is again the Omovica. I love this product because it gives a beautiful kind of dark tone. It's a bit like a bronzer, but a liquid bronzer, and I love it. Just put a teeny tiny bit. Don't go too bananas with it. I'm going to use the same brush I used for the Trini London, and you can kind of see the texture of it. And I'm literally just going to put a little bit over her cheek. So she kind of like looks really kind of golden and glowy. She's already got a bit of a tan, so it's easy to be able to kind of follow what she's already got. And then kind of you're also still seeing all her beautiful freckles and all her real skin. And then just washing it over her lovely forehead. A little bit over her nose. So it just gives her skin a bit of depth and mimics like that she's been a bit more in the sun. Okay, next step. I'm going to use the Real Techniques in B04, and I'm going to use Amelia by Trini London. I'm going to mix a little bit on the back of my hand. I've already had the Skin Perfector by Omavitsa. I'm going to mix a bit of that concealer with the Skin Perfector, so it doesn't kind of look or jar too much when I put it back on the skin. So I'm literally just going to put, look up for me, gorgeous, a tiny bit under her eyes, just to knock out any darkness. Just around her nose to knock out any redness. Just a couple of any kind of red chin or blemishes. And I always quite like using a big fluffy brush for this because you can kind of get it in. A lot of people use like beauty blenders, a lot of people can use their fingers. But again, it's just kind of feathering it in and blending it through and making it just look super pretty. I'm just going to just do a little bit over the lid. I might just go back over it with a little bit of the beauty blender just to kind of pat it all in so it kind of doesn't sit on the skin, it kind of molds into the skin. Okay, next one, Glossier in brown. Love this product. With her eyebrows, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a spoolie and I kind of bent it a bit and just brush up her beautiful eyebrows. There's really not much we can have to do with these gorgeous babies. So I'm literally going to get a brown in the Glossier Boy Brow and literally just lightly. I always take off a little bit of product before you put these boy brows or these gel brows on, because I always kind of seem to go bananas with them and just put too much. And then just lightly, for a little bit of depth and gel, just brush them up a bit. I then also get the spoolie slightly afterwards and then just knock down a bit of the hair so it doesn't look too kind of weird. You kind of want them to look polished and brushed, but not like, you know, Teen Wolf, which is never a good look. Well, Teen Wolf is a good look, but like, maybe not for the Chelsea Flower Show. So you kind of like keep playing with it and then keep going back in. I quite like the imperfection of like little gaps and bits, but then you can always, if you really don't like that, you can always get a little pencil and a soft pencil just to knock that out. Okay, next I'm also weirdly going to put a little bit of Cha-Cha just on the cheek. If you can just smile a little bit for me. I'm literally just going to just put a tiny bit. And I kind of wanted to do it afterwards, because then I'm going to go back in. This is a Charles Fox brush, and then I'm going to use this one, which is the My Multi, which is my Kitco, and just kind of blend it in like that. So you've just got like a hint of colour, and it kind of then moulds into the kind of the warmth of the Omavitsa Skin Perfector. And I'm literally just kind of buffing it, blending it, buffing it, blending it, buffing it, blending it. So for the eyes, I'm going to use lilacs and purpley tones because it's going to just kind of mimic all the lovely flowers. And close your eyes for me. I'm just going to sweep my finger across and use critical mass on the base of her eyelid. So to kind of form the beginning of her look. It doesn't have to be perfect. And literally just kind of grabbing the skin at the kind of the root of the lash. And then keep opening your eye so you can kind of see where it sits and see how it works. So it looks really pretty. And close your eyes for me. So these are the Glossier Play pencils. They've just got really great depth of colour, and they're loads of fun, obviously, says with the name, and you can kind of blend them in and blend them through, and they're just fab. I'm then going to use the Sugar Trip Squad, which is the NYX Professional Makeup. I got this in Boots, and I got it for like 18 quid. And I'm literally going to use my finger, and I'm going to use the lilac tone. And close your eyes for me. And I'm literally just going to put it over the eyelid, like this, on top of the pinky undertone of the Glossier Play pencil. And then open your eye for me. So you've just got that really beautiful hue at the bottom, and then it kind of graduates the colour down. You don't need loads of fancy brushes. You literally can use just your ring finger. And make sure you kind of smush it into the kind of the eye. Keep going in. I'm going to do it twice. Just give it a really great depth of tone and colour. Okay, cool. Cute. Looks loads of fun. Then I'm going to use the NARS Luna, which my daughter had a little go at, which is always fun. She's 3. And I'm just going to sweep a little bit of that across, just to add a tiny bit of sparkle. I find that if you kind of tap it on, it kind of works better. So that's the NARS Luna. That's really pretty. Right, and then last but not least, I'm going to use the NYX Jumbo pencil, which is in 610, which is a lilac tone. And I'm going to, if you look up for me, sweetie, and I'm just going to put a little bit in the corner and underneath. So I'm just going to bring that all out. I just put a little bit up here as well. just in the corner, so that's really pretty. And then the last little thing I'm going to do, I'm going to use a bit of the Glow palette from Dior, and this one is the blush pink. Close your eyes for me. Just going to put a little bit of that in the middle. So it just gives a slight hint of different tone in the middle, so it kind of pops open. Pretty. For a daytime makeup that you're going to be wearing all day and you're kind of at an event, I would use the Masterpiece Max Factor. This is a waterproof one. It's kind of, you can get it off with a really good oil-based makeup remover, but I like it. It's easy. You can coat it on the lashes, and because I don't want to ruin the top of the lid, close your eyes for me, lovely. I'm literally going to put this fantastic Tweezerman little tool here, and you literally just kind of put it on the lid, and then you can sweep it up and put it in. Because I'm a bit of a mascara princess, I want lots of lash. But I'm not going to do any fake lashes. And with lighter tone shadows, you can sometimes catch the mascara on your lid. So this is a really handy little tool. I usually sometimes do it with my fingers as well. If you're like me, you want to have a lovely... And so it kind of really kind of look right down. I sometimes do this with my fingers where I can go like that, but she's got lots of gorgeous, feathery, thick lash. And that's how you can start doing that. So you can just keep putting it in with this one. So I finished her eyes, and there's a couple of things you could do with this. You could then put a wash tone of lip gloss by MAC on top of it if you wanted a really beautiful dewy look. But that won't kind of last all day, it would kind of slide. It's brilliant for a shoot, but not so great if you're going to be walking around all day. So I finished her eyes. I've done loads of mascara with the waterproof mascara as well, so it would just stay. And then I'm going to use Rosy. This is from Marks & Spencer's. It looks a bit dodge, but I love the colour, and I will find out what the actual name of the colour is. It's from Marks & Spencer's, and it's part of the Rosy Autograph range. So I just kind of want to keep it still, kind of really keep it really pretty. And I'm not going to do a perfect lip liner. I just want to kind of get the base tone of this kind of very pretty, kind of peachy, corally, beachy, daytime pink, which is exactly what this is. I'll put a whole list of what we've done and what I put on. So I'm just kind of laying the tone of the colour over her lip and kind of building up the shape. Again, kind of like doing the tone as like a veil, so you have a kind of like an undertone of the pencil, so you can kind of just see the undertone, just kind of bringing out the colour of her lip already, so it's just kind of pretty, and that's literally all I want to do. It's such a pretty pink. Then I'm going to use Mia, the Trini London New Gloss, and I'm going to keep your lips closed to me, gorgeous, and I'm literally just going to put a little smush of it in the kind of centre of her lip. And again, because it's like a pot of gloss and you can kind of carry it around in your handbag, it's just super easy. It tastes yummy, and then it kind of, how yummy does it taste? I love it. And it launched on the 1st of May, and this is a kind of perfect British brandy for the Great British Summer. This is literally called Mia and Grab It. It's so cool. And again, I'm just using my finger. I always kind of go over with a cotton bud, like a flat one like this, after I put a gloss on, especially if I do kind of like might use my finger. Because I kind of want to catch the top of the lip and kind of ease it over the lip, but I also don't want it to look too messy. So you've got these lovely sharp points and the flat ones. So it just kind of, and then kind of knock it out a little bit. So it just looks really dewy and cute. And then last but not least, I'm going to use the translucent Laura Mercier powder. I'm just going to use this also with one of my favourite brushes, which is a Makeup Forever brush. And I'm literally just going to knock out a tiny bit. Look up for me. In the centre of her beautiful face. Just to knock out any, and also these are great because you can travel with them, put them in your handbag. It just takes a bit of the edge off. So you've got a lovely, dewy, gorgeous daytime Chelsea Flower Show makeup.